Hey, Butt. What's up, Death? How's it going today, guys? You're the worst doggo. Is everyone having a good day? You're gonna make Japanese curry with sirloin. That sounds so good. And steamed rice. You're set up for success then. For sure. Meanwhile, I am having breakfast of the least healthy kind. Oh, it's true, guys. It's true. I knew I was missing something. I was like, something feels wrong. Thanks for telling me. Star Bell. I got you. Just fixing it right now. Chief, I know, feeling the love always. What's up, Fiscal? Thanks for keeping me on point, guys. I guess not every day is perfect. So pumped for breakfast. Okay, updated. Just waiting for laundry. Nice. Nice, nice. Okay, so Thirsty Thursday. Tomorrow's already Friday. Unreal. So breakfast for dinner today. I don't know if it's breakfast, lunch, brunch, Brinner. Let's call it Brinner. Eggs Benedict. We are doing all of the steps today. Everything from scratch. So instead of English muffins, I'm going to do chive biscuits. So something a little bit lighter. Fresh ground breakfast sausage. Thanks to Alton Brown. So I'm going to be following his recipe. We're going to do poached eggs together on stream and hollandaise as well. So I posted a blender hollandaise recipe, I believe, in Discord, but I am going to make it by hand, just so you guys can see how it's properly made. But I know I love Alton. And then this salad that goes with it, oh man. So the mixed greens, I'm going to use the ones from the farm. Thank you, Seabluff, for those. And then just some cherry tomatoes, cucumber. I got some amazing little radishes from the farm today to take home as well. So we'll throw those in, and then bacon vinaigrette, which is like, obviously has that bacon flavor, but it does have some thyme and rosemary as well. So it's nice and herbaceous. And that's it today. So not a ton of stuff, but a little bit longer of processes just because we are making everything from scratch. If you were to use bought sausage and bought English muffins, this meal would take about 30 to 45 minutes for you to make. But since we're making our own sausage and biscuits, I think it'll take us about an hour and a half to make all this stuff today. Obviously it takes us longer because we always chat and stuff like that. So 40 minutes to make the biscuits is what it says. 1 hour and 45 minutes for the sausage, only because the pork meat has to sit with the herbs and spices for an hour before we even grind it. So it kind of marinates beforehand. And then 20 minutes for the hollandaise and 15 minutes to poach the eggs-ish. I mean, it shouldn't take you 15 minutes to poach the eggs, but just to get everything ready. I gave us that amount of time. And then the salad is not going to take more than 15 minutes to make. The dressing is very, very easy. So ingredients. Let's start with our salad. So mixed greens, cherry tomato, cucumber, and then the dressing is death. Thanks for the biddies. The dressing is bacon fat and olive oil. So equal parts of that, and that's where you get the bacon flavor from. There's no actual bacon going into this. And then balsamic vinegar, thyme, rosemary, and then just some brown sugar to kind of counteract our vinegar flavor. And then salt and pepper to season it up afterwards. So biscuits, this is Ina Garten's recipe. She is trusted for sure. 2 cups of flour. We need baking powder, salt, sugar, 1/4 pound of unsalted butter, and this has to be cold. 3/4 of a cup and half and half. But you could also do like a mix up of whipping cream and milk as well if you don't typically have half and half. And then 1/2 cup of chopped fresh chives or parsley leaves. I don't think we have any parsley, but I did pick as much chives as I could today from our garden, so we'll roll with that. And then if you want just an egg mixed with some water for egg wash afterwards to bake them. So it takes about 15 minutes to prep these and then 20 minutes to cook them. She does them in a mixer. I'm not going to use the mixer today. I'm just going to make the biscuits by hand because I love making that kind of stuff. Love kind of just like cutting the butter into the flour. Get the feel for it. And then our sausage. So it's a pork sausage. And you would want to use a fattier cut of pork. So this says pork shoulder here or pork butt, which is what I'm using. So yay for that. And then salt and pepper. It has sage, thyme, and rosemary fresh. That gets chopped, and then a little bit of brown sugar, some nutmeg, cayenne, and red pepper flakes. I'm so excited for that. I need a parsley plant. It's true, but it's true. We still need some stuffs. Finger game, A1. Okay, and that's it. And then for our hollandaise, you typically need melted butter, egg yolks. You could use any kind of acid, so you can do lemon juice. I typically just do a little splash of like apple cider vinegar. And then just a touch of hot sauce as well. And that's it. Really, really simple. Obviously that gets whisked together, and then obviously we need eggs for our poached eggs. And that's it. Pretty simple. Hey, Jim. Let's do a little bit of fun facts or history on eggs benedict before we start. So eggs benedict, also called eggs benny, is a traditional American breakfast or brunch dish that consists of 2 halves of an English muffin, each of which is topped with Canadian bacon, ham, or sometimes bacon, poached egg, and hollandaise sauce. The dish was first popularized in New York City, and many variations on the basic recipe are served. That's a fact. I have seen all kinds of eggs benedict in my day. There are conflicting accounts as to the origin of eggs benedict. So Delmonico's in Lower Manhattan says on its menu that eggs benedict was first created in their ovens in 1860. One of its former chefs also published the recipe for eggs a la Benedict in 1894. In an interview recorded in the Talk of the Town column of the New Yorker in 1942, the year before his death, Lemuel Benedict, a retired Wall Street stockbroker, said that he had wandered into the Waldorf Hotel in 1894 and, hoping to find a cure for his morning hangover, ordered buttered toast, poached eggs, crisp bacon, and a hooker of hollandaise. The maitre d' of the hotel was so impressed with the dish that he put it on the breakfast and luncheon menus, but substituted ham for the bacon and a toasted English muffin for the toast. All right, we're getting there, guys. Okay, another later claim to the creation of Eggs Benedict was circuitously made by Edward P. Montgomery on behalf of Commodore Benedict. In 1967, Montgomery wrote a letter to the New York Times food columnist, which included a recipe he said he had received through his uncle, a friend of the Commodore. Commodore Benedict's recipe varies greatly from Ranhofer's version, particularly in the hollandaise sauce preparation, calling for the addition of a hot, hard-cooked egg and ham mixture. Yeah, that one does not sound as good as the other ones. I like the first variation, or the origin, better. Chief. I know, Jim. Are you finally feeling better, man? Talk to me. So, order of prep today. We are going to marinate and prep our pork first. So we just have to chop it up into about 1-inch cubes. Mix it up with all the herbs and spices, and then we'll let it sit for about an hour. We'll see how we go with the biscuits in the meantime. While that is sitting, we will make up our biscuits and bake them. And then after that, we will grind our sausage. We'll form the little patties that are going to fit onto the biscuit. Melt our butter for the hollandaise sauce. I just hear weird stuff going on outside. Doggo's out there. Okay, so we'll melt our butter for our hollandaise, make the salad. Then we have to cut the biscuits in half just so we can broil them up. Do a little toasty toast. And then at the end, we will mix up our hollandaise real quick. Shouldn't take us more than about 10 minutes to whisk it all together. Cook our sausage in a pan, very easy. Poach the eggs and then broil the biscuits, and then we'll put everything together. So pretty simple, I would say. And hopefully you guys learned something from today's stream as well. What's going on? Doggo's being hilarious, as always. The neighbor's trying to sneak in for food. I know, that's why I was like, what is going on? June 5th should be waffle day. Why do you say this, Chief? Is it actually waffle day? Because then I'm so into it. It's McDonald's day like every other day. I love it. Dun-dun. We're getting set up. Guys, it was so nice on the farm today. I worked in a t-shirt the whole time. Just your born date. Nice. Your birthday. Boom. McDonald's is life, love. Jim, you got an addiction, man. Okay, let's take this string off first. Not like it was doing much anyways. A lot of people don't like McDonald's. I suppose that's true. Okay, so all of this fat here, we're keeping that on. So we don't have to trim this up too much. Let's just start by cutting about like 1-inch pieces like that. And yes, this is still a little bit frozen, but that's That's a good thing because it's gonna help the grind go through the grinder, or the meat go through a lot easier, and it won't get too mushed up. So that is all right. Sounds good, Mies. Hello, hope your day is well. Just glad you're here with us. You're anti-fast food, but you get why people love it? Oh, totally, Chief. Okay, guys, so today on the farm, started the day by transplanting some baby tomato plants into bigger pots in the greenhouse. And they were sun gold tomatoes. So I don't know if you guys know which ones those are, but they're the cherry kind of tomatoes that are the yellow, which makes sense, right? Sun gold. And then after that, I helped plant some sunflowers. They're just like little baby plants as well. And they're red sunflowers, so the leaves are actually going to be red, which I am so excited to see later on. And then after that, so all of the kale that we pulled out the other day, we took that all out of the field. So we had 2 wheelbarrows and a tractor. And we almost did the whole field before lunch. It was not easy work, but it was so fun. And then we were all just like starving by the time 12 o'clock rolled around. We're like, we can't carry on without any more food. And then what I took home a little pack of radishes and a bunch of rhubarb. So first of the season rhubarb. I think I want to make like strawberry rhubarb muffins with them if possible. And I also took home 3 kind of bushels of asparagus roots that we can plant in our garden when we move. And that way we'll get asparagus. The only thing about growing asparagus is it needs really sandy soil. So luckily I have farmers to kind of guide me along the way because I've never grown asparagus yet. Yeah, earning those crops, it's true. And then what's gonna go into that field after it gets rototilled is carrots. Because we already have the new kale growing in a different field. And the old stalks were just like way too woody for us to even like mix back into the soil. It would take it forever to break down. So we're just gonna compost it instead. Hey, Millie. It's been a while. Well, it's not my farm, but I am talking about the farm. Carrots like sand mixed in the soil as well. Yeah, the soil is actually really nice where the kale was growing. I'm sure they have all of their plans figured out. Pretty pumped to see everything actually start growing. And then when it comes like time to harvest, yeah. I feel like I'm gonna have like too many vegetables at home during the summer, but that's not possible. We're gonna do a lot of pickles, I'm sure. Yeah, but do it up. Just planted a bunch of our seeds yesterday. I did beets, carrots, both the purple and orange, and then broad beans, bush beans, and peas. Okay, we're almost there, guys. Shout out to pickles. I know I'm actually gonna see if I can make a bunch of pickles and then sell them on the farm stand or at their market for them. So I'll obviously use their vegetables, but that way nothing will get thrown out. And like, pickles are super easy to make. I think we could all get a good little profit from that. Has anyone here eaten garlic scapes? Or know what they are? Okay, one more piece of pork, then we're good. Yeah, everyone gets a piece of pie. Oh, now I want to make strawberry rhubarb pie. You've had garlic scapes, Fiscal? Yes! I'm pumped. You guys know your stuff. Yeah, so apparently there's gonna be too many garlic scapes on the farm to even deal with them all. So I can take as many as I want, which is insane to me. I got so pumped. I was like, I'm gonna make so many pickles. Yeah, they're really, really good pickles. And I typically have always like grilled them as well. Just washing my knife, guys. Okie dokes. So you treat them like leeks, pretty much. Yeah, they're really, really good grilled. Put them on toast with an egg, everyone will be happy. What's up, Optrix? Sounds good, but we'll be here. So let's get into our sausage recipe. So we need to chop up some herbs real quick. And I'm gonna reserve some thyme and rosemary for our salad dressing later as well. Which we don't need too much. Like, this will be lots for the dressing. And that'll be a good amount of time. How do you have cucumbers done already at the farm? Are they in a greenhouse? You're about to plant yours outside soon. I don't know all of the seedlings that they have at the farm, but pretty much everything's done. As far as I know. Like, the amount of potted kind of seedlings that are chilling in the greenhouses right now, there's not enough room for everything. Like, if one thing has to be put into new pots, then another thing has to go out because there's just no room anymore. So you kind of have to plan it out that way. I don't know if they have cukes though, to be honest, Death. Yeah, they have 2 huge greenhouses and then 1 like medium one and 3 smaller ones. And then obviously like the couple of acres of fields. Have we heard of aeroponics? Yes. Actually, my brother was talking to me about that a little while back, and I am so into it. It's a great way to like have a little contained garden. Not too much upkeep with it either. Okie dokes, that looks good. So we're just gonna sprinkle that over, and then we'll just give it a good mix once everything's in this bowl in front of me. Your mom's a master gardener, and she got to tour a facility. Yeah, it's super, super cool. Your mom's a master gardener. That's amazing. Honestly, the more time I spend on the farm, like, the more I feel like that's what I should start doing. I know something really good is gonna come out of this, though. Do I want my own farm one day? I do. I mean, I'm so fresh right now with like what actually has to be done on the farm, but if not like a farm, then obviously quite a large garden area. And I would totally like sell the food to people, 100%. Would love to have my own little farm stand out here, and it's not hard to do. A lot of people just do it like on the front of their driveway and just leave boxes where people put money and write down what they take. So people are very, very trusting out here, which I was not used to at first coming from Vancouver, where if you leave like anything out, it's just scooped up immediately by some homeless person. Yeah, Kate's pickled scapes and tomato chutney. I love it, Millie. I guess most people who would steal wouldn't steal vegetables. I know. But I mean, same with the eggs, though. Like, that's how everyone does their eggs out here, is they just put a little hut by their driveway at the front, leave a little box where you drop the money in, and then you take your stuff. I would be curious to know how often they do get ripped off, though, because I'm sure there are some dishonest people as well. This sage smells unreal. Okay, all of the herbage. Now we need our spices. Nutmeg, cayenne, red pepper flakes, a little bit of brown sugar, and then salt and pepper. So this says 2 pounds of pork butt. I think this was a little bit more than that. 2 teaspoons of salt. And it is important to measure your salt. And then obviously with this grind later on, we are going to taste it before we make all the patties up, just to make sure it is seasoned properly. So you don't want to make all the patties and then be like, it's not seasoned enough, and then have to go back and redo it. Cracked pepper. Which is almost empty, I think. I think there's like 2 peppercorns left in here. Done. But there is more. Let's get a little refill before we even carry on. Set ourselves up Vegan robbery is a thing. When times get tough, man, you never know. It's true, Optrix. It's not all what it's cracked up to be. Death, my man, what are you making for din? As well as everyone else. Tell me what you're cooking. It's so true, Millie. We laugh about it now. Oh shit, that could be me. You never know, do ya? Life can change in an instant. This pepper might go up my nose. I guess we'll see if the sneeze decides to come. At least my eyes say it would be good. Yes. Okay, just a little bit more. Okay, next, 1 tablespoon of brown sugar. So just a little bit of sweetness. Obviously, you always want to pack that as well. Oh, I feel it. I got a peppery nose, guys. And then half a teaspoon each of all the spices. It's pretty straightforward. It's gonna be a little bit spicy and sweet. I like it. Optrix is blessing me in advance. Thank you. I'm blessed. Death, you're cooking a giant 2.2 pound turkey thigh. $8. Wow. You don't know what else you're making with it though? Are you roasting it up? Yeah, exactly 1 kilo for $8. Okay, you know what? Let's get my hands dirty. I'll just wash them after. If my nose is itchy, it means someone's thinking about me. Oh, I like it. I think it went up my throat instead. Sorry, guys. I didn't cough in the bowl, though. Still being a good chef. I'm not gross like that. Okay, that looks pretty evenly coated. It smells really good. It smells like a proper breakfast sausage already. So I guess the trick to those are nutmeg and some spice. This is my first time making breakfast sausage from scratch. What was the starting meat? This is all pork. So pork shoulder. That's how she looks. Okay. Well, that was easy. Now I'll set a timer for about 45 minutes. Is there room in the fridge? Maybe? maybe. I mean, yes. We'll just take out the tomatoes and the radishes. See, look at the most like amazing looking radishes. That's perfection. I think those are some of the nicest I've ever seen. Okay, so we will need another bowl out now. Probably the same size as the last one for our biscuits. The biscuit. Your throat's starting to feel scratchy. No, Optrix. I know I had like one side of my sinus was stuffed up this morning. I was like, don't even do this to me, body. Not the time. I know they're not split at all. They were picked just right. Let the sausage fest begin. So for the cutter, I think I'll do them this size. It looks pretty proper for like an English muffin size. Okay, chive biscuits. So first things first, combine flour, baking powder, salt, and sugar. So 2 cups of flour, 1 tablespoon of baking powder. That's quite a bit, but obviously it needs that to help it rise in the oven. And then 1 teaspoon each of salt and sugar. Yeah, this is the sausage fest you guys have all been waiting for. And how many biscuits does this make? I never even looked. 8 biscuits. Perfect. Got any biscuit tips? I mean, honestly, not really. The only important thing, like really important, is to keep the butter really cold. And make sure you don't overwork the dough, otherwise the biscuits will be like rock hard. So that's why I'm gonna do this by hand instead of doing it in a mixer. Because once you kind of feel how the dough should be, it gets easier after that. Yeah, just make it good. Am I gonna use lard? No. I mean, I thought about it. I suppose we could do half and half just because there is quite a bit of shortening still in the fridge, but typically I like all butter. Just give me the butter. Why does the cold butter matter? Because then it doesn't, I guess, get too emulsified into the dough. And then keeping the butter in those like little flakes is what's gonna keep it nice and light and make all those layers in the biscuit. And that's pretty much all I know. I haven't made too many biscuits, to be honest. King of baking biscuits in your air fryer. That sounds amazing, Chief. Okay, so we just want to combine all of our dry ingredients. If there's any lumps, just break them up. Yeah, exact same thing pretty much for pie crust. Cold water, cold butter. I'm not liking this angle here. I feel like that needs to be turned a little bit. There we go. Okay, next up. Add the butter and mix on low speed until the butter is the size of peas. So we're gonna break it up. Then we need to just portion out 3/4 of a cup of half and half. I don't think I've ever made biscuits with half and half in them. Okay, that is there. We need our 1/4 pound of butter. And then obviously the chives will go in at the end. So maybe I should cut those up first as well. Just so I don't have to keep washing my hands over and over. Make it easy. So I always love using this little measurement here on the butter packet. Don't know if you guys get that where you live, but it is the greatest. Are we using the special mixer? Not for the biscuits. We're doing it all by hand. I'm gonna use the mixer today just for the sausage. For grinding. And then this is just gonna get cut up. Wait, that was so off. It says a 1/4 pound, not a 1/4 cup. A dur. Yo, Kate, pay attention, please. Half. Half. I was like, that just does not look like enough to begin with. Cut it up into little cubes so it's ready to go. And then let's just quickly chop up our chivers. The butter is beautiful. That is not creme cheese. No, it is not. Our little bouquet of chive flowers. So cute. So just pick off the tips and whatever parts are kind of yellow. I'm really excited to make hollandaise with you guys though. I feel like that's an important skill to learn. What the heck, Optrix? They have butter sculptures? That's terrifying. How does it not melt? You'd marry a butter broad. Let it be known, guys. You see a butter broad, you hit Chief up. Okay, so let's go nice fine chop here. I mean, as best as you can. Okay, we'll just keep those on the side. The buildings are cooled. Okay, it's inside. I thought it was outside. I was like, what? At least you have a church that's a brewery. That's pretty cool. Oh. Okay, let's get into this. Making biscuits, making biscuits. So I'm just smooshing the butter in between my hands, making it all nice and flaky. And then it says to do it until it's about pea-sized. So just kind of eyeball it. Is it from making bacon pancakes? It totally is, Optrix. Chief, could you even imagine all the butter in the streets? The rats would drown, or they would just like swim happily. They'd be like, oh my God, it's everything we've always wanted. Okay, that looks good. So everything's kind of just flaked. And obviously the butter's not really melting or sticking to my hands, right? Well, that's how it looks so far. Hello, Omat. How are you, dude? And then it says just to kind of mix in our half and half, which is weird. She's in love with the cocoa. I don't know how you can listen to that song, honestly. Now she's getting sticky. Okay, let's get our chives into here now as well. Bam. You got a bad sunburn today? You know what? I think I got quite a bit of sun today too. Got some new freckles starting to pop up. Okay, so let's just toss this around until everything's kind of combined. And then we'll start trying to kind of form our dough. I'm gonna clean my fingers off a little bit. Toronto had snow 2 days ago. You would love for some snow to fall on your sunburned. I thought it said booty at first. Like, how did you burn your ass? No way, Fiscal. That's hilarious. Well, at least someone enjoys this song. See, I don't know if this is like too dry, guys. The heck? Dump the dough onto a well-floured board and knead lightly into a rectangle. And then cut out rounds. Well, I'm obviously not going to dump it onto my cutting board. So I'll just keep kind of pushing it together in the bowl here. I still see all the butter flakes in the dough, so don't worry, guys. Just pat it nice and gently, I would say. Your body is glowing. It's magical. Yeah, you guys need that snow to get down. Okay, you know what? What the frick is going on with this recipe? I'm not very impressed so far, to be honest. I'm gonna add just a touch of cold water. This seems way too flaky still. And I don't want to overwork the dough. Come on, Ina. I'm not cheating with no mixer. Okay, that should do it. Yeah. And I'm just gonna say this again, a recipe is just a guideline, guys. If it looks like it's not right, then either Google to find an adjustment for it or message me. Blame Trump. Every time, guys. Okay, that is looking proper. Posh, what are you doing? Oh, I guess I dropped some biscuit dough on the ground, a couple little flakes. She's just casually licking them up. Okay, so now just push this out. Still see those butter flakes in there, so I'm good with that. You want a nice even layer. And I think we're almost there. That is so true, Optrix. Go with the gut. Am I still watching Grand Tour? We're done at Jim. And I'm so sad. It was such a good show. Now we are on to Parks and Recreation, which is hilarious. So before we cut these, let's preheat our oven. You haven't seen the last epi? It's a special? I don't know. I mean, it's on the Amazon video. And I believe the oven goes to 400 Fahrenheit. And 20 minutes. Sounds good to me, Ina. We got that set up. How many biscuits am I gonna get out? As many as I can. That are this size. I mean, I don't need too much leftovers. I'm gonna try and save as much of the dough as I can, I guess. And then maybe try and like re-roll whatever's left, but I don't typically like to do that. It's just not going to turn out the same. What are we going to get? 5 out of this? And I totally would have cut these rectangular, except for the eggs benedict, it just wouldn't have looked right. But otherwise, yeah, I wouldn't have wasted the dough like this. But we'll roll with this. They look super nummy. You can definitely see the little butter flecks in there still. It said we should get 8 out of it, which I think can easily be done. That's where we're at so far. Are the ovens in Celsius in Canada? Nope. They are in Fahrenheit. Okay, so what we're gonna try to do is kind of just mush this back together. There's happiness. I don't want to ball it up and then try and roll it out again. Then you'd get really, really tough biscuits. Don't know how well that worked. Let's flip it over and see. Just sew it up, guys. Okay, I think that worked pretty well. We didn't disturb the flakage too much. Re-rolled rolls. Anye's cramping up. He ate too much fatty food. He's dying. Yeah, temperature is measured in baguettes. If only. Can we stretch it? What do we have? 2, 4, 5, 6. We should be able to get 8, guys. Might have to sew it up one more time. Just smoosh it. And the rest of this left over, that's not going to be wasted. You'd be crazy if you think that. I'll just put it in the oven with these guys, and then I'll just take it out a little bit early. And we'll have some biscuit munchums. Because there's nothing wrong with that. Why not? There's our tray. She's a beaut. Jim. You can't say that. The 8th biscuit is a special one. Yeah, they start out really nice, and as time goes on, they just get terrible. No, they're not terrible. They still look great. All I know is they're gonna be tasty. Okay, let's clean up our little mess. And then on to the grinding. Jim, you're bad. Yeah, you are. Cantankerous. The F. No chives in the flour. Chive scented flour, yo that. Counter got a little bit buttery. We back, fam. Okay, so let's prep up our grinder because it just has to chill in the freezer for about 10 minutes before we use it to grind the meat. Because the same way that the meat has to be really cold, all the attachment pieces have to be the same as well. Man, Discord was like too crazy today. I couldn't even keep up. I'm sorry, guys. Okay, so what do we need? We need like the little auger piece. And then the other piece is called the blade. So this is what pushes it through the die. Obviously we need that whole part. And then I'm gonna do a medium grind for this. So this is the really large one, and then this is the size down. And then there's 2 more smaller ones as well, but we're not gonna go super small. I still want to have some texture to the meat when we grind it, just because we are making patties and not doing links. So all of the metal pieces must go into the freezer right now. And I suppose while we're waiting, we can melt up some butter. Oh, that hollandaise. The sauce. What's up, Optrix? Are you asking why for everything being cold? For the meat grinding part. So it's gonna help the fat and stuff stay in the meat. Otherwise the fat tends to stick into the grinder and it just makes it really messy. So this will help keep the grind really nice and firm, and it'll come out nice and clean instead of kind of mushing through instead. Oh, Matt, you're back. And it's just going in the freezer because that's the fastest way to get it chilled. So yeah, typically, like, if you even make a mixed sausage in your mixing bowl, that mixing bowl should be really, really cold as well. And especially when you're grinding meat, you want to keep the bacteria out as much as possible. So bacteria likes warm stuff. So that's why we're keeping everything cold, just in case something weird gets in there. But obviously that's not going to happen. Okay, oven just went off. Let's put these biscuits in. I'm going to do 10 minutes, and then I'll take out our little scrunchum pieces, and then we'll carry on with the other half of baking them. I'm happy you guys are learning stuff today. Okay, how much butter for our hollandaise? Dun, 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 dun. I'm going to refer back to the recipe I posted and see the amount that it made. But I'm not going to make it in the blender. Death, I just saw your zucchini bread. It looks delicious. Because we only need enough hollandaise for about 4 portions. It doesn't stay very good left over because it's hard to heat up without splitting it. So they do 3 egg yolks and 10 tablespoons of butter. Why did they measure that in tablespoons? That does not make sense to me, guys. Any news on the apron giveaway? No. I mean, my design, they've let me know how much the design costs. And it's not the cheapest. It's about like 75 bucks for the 2 embroidering pieces. But other than that, just still waiting to hear back on it, honestly. It's gone slower than I expected, and I'm not super thrilled about it, but I guess if I'm getting stuff for free, I can't really say too much at the same time. I know, like, who measures 10 tablespoons? That equals 150 mils, which is 0.6 of a cup. All right. Your butter has tablespoon markings? We don't have that. Dang. Dang it. At least it does have the milliliters, though. So I need 147. AKA 0.6 of a cup. Got this. We're doing it. Your butter has teeth marks in it. That's terrifying. We got a fiend. Yes, where's Finster been? Just randomly disappeared. That was our butter fiend. We need him. I was gonna say, was it Finster? You never know. Okay, let's get this guy boiling, and then we'll talk about the process of this. Because hollandaise takes clarified butter. So there are a bunch of ways to do clarified butter. I'm going to show you guys the really quick way, because I've just done it so many times and don't like fooling around too much. Hello, Loriander. How are you? So the way that I do my clarified butter is we actually just boil the crap out of it, which ends up kind of cooking all of the dairy or the milk liquid out of the butter, and it sits on the bottom of the pot. So you don't have to do too much skimming or anything like that. But otherwise, clarified butter is made over like a long period of time. You're slowly heating the butter and then skimming it off from the milk solids that stay at the bottom. So this method here, the butter is going to boil up once. It's going to get super bubbly, and it's going to go down again. And then it's going to come back up and make like even more bigger bubbles. And they're going to be clear, kind of. And that's pretty much when you know you are done. So I'm going to try and work through that with you guys right now. Just so you can do it the easy way. And that's why this hollandaise does not take very long to make. And obviously this is just going to chill on the stovetop until later on, because hollandaise doesn't stay very well either. So it doesn't like to be too hot and it doesn't like to be too cold. So you typically do have to keep it around a room temperature or just a little bit higher. And it's not good to leave that out for like long periods of time, just because it does have obviously egg yolk in it. It will eventually go bad. Ghee is cheap where you live? Yeah, I saw it at Superstore last time I was there, like really big buckets. So yeah, if you want, just use ghee instead. Literally the same thing. But at least now you can kind of see how it's made. And those biscuits are starting to smell delicious. And you know what? I suppose while we're chilling, we can feed Doggo since she's being a butthead. It's like having a child always. Loriander, how has your week been? You tried to make aioli one time and it turned out as a disaster. So yeah, hollandaise is very similar to making mayo. Like very, very similar, just instead of using oil, we're using butter. And we're not making it as thick either. But relatively the same ingredients as well, because you need your acid, you need your some kind of like hot sauce, and then salt and pepper. Completely separated. That's so sad. You just had a birthday today. Happy birthday, Lori. That's great. Okay guys, so you see that little bit of foam in there? That's the first kind of foam. Let's call it that. Yeah, happy B-Day from afar. Wishing you all the best. To another good year full of Iberico hams. Doggo, are you hungry? You need food? Come here. What she need? Show me. Just gone. I'm getting yelled at. Okay. She's wildin'. Yeah. Shh. Shh. Make a birthday cake for you. Risk it for the biscuit. Oh my god, they're so fluffy. Okay, I'm just going to turn my butter to low for a sec while I do this. Oh yeah, she's wild. She is crazy, Millie. She's all about the food. always. Okay, we got 40 seconds on our first biscuits tonight. You guys are getting old. Oh, your mom made it. Nice. I'm pumped. $44 Magnum, boy. Okay, that's where we're at so far. They're rising. Take off the little scrunchum pieces because they're definitely already cooked. And then these are gonna go in for another 10. The ones we like smushed back together definitely don't look as good. That's a given though. But we're not gonna waste that dough. Hello, Sporks Hens. Optrix, you're gonna be 50 in October. I love it. It's good to have not too many youngins in here. Because I know you guys care. You made it before Benny time. Yes, Ivan. Yes, we are good. Biscuits are in the oven. I just took out some of the like leftover scraps that baked for 10 minutes. So let's have a little scrunchum because the bottom is nice golden brown. Mm-hmm. That's nummy. Back to our butter. So let's turn this back up. Then, I don't know if you guys can see this, but around the edge of the pot, it's starting to get dark. That's the milk starting to cook out. I think I might just add a touch more. Just like a touch more. It's always better to have more than not enough. You have to use up English muffins? Well, don't feel bad. You're setting up. That's amazing, dude. I'm pumped. Oh my God, Grandma's biscuits every morning for 50 years with gravy. Oh, it's too good. I know, sausage gravy. I wish I was making that with the benedict today as well. Nice, Elvin. We're gonna do ours by hand, just so everyone can kind of see what happens. I know how to do it in a blender though, and that's the recipe that I posted in Discord. So if anyone wants to try the blender version, it is so easy. Takes about 2 minutes once you have the butter melted. And our butter is almost there. Chrissy, you're late to all the cooking streams today. Don't feel bad. We haven't even ground the sausage yet. All we've done is make biscuits and feed the dog. Oh my God, Sporks Hens. Pulled out the grinder, making some sausage. I love it. Thank you for the host, Chrissy. And convenient. Thanks for the biddy. Thanks, everyone. Okay guys, so see, I don't know if you can tell, but this is a different kind of foam up. And then the butter is also starting to smell a little bit nutty. So that's another way to tell that it's pretty much there. And it's almost like blowing bubbles. They're getting super big. So when it looks like that, take it off. And I'm just gonna set that to the back burner. And then that's just gonna calm down. Everything milk solid wise is gonna settle to the bottom, and then we'll just slowly pour it in for our hollandaise later. We don't have to strain it, no, nothing like that. I know it's hard to see. And actually, I don't know if I may have to pour this out just because the pot is too hot. I don't want to make it too dark. But browned butter with hollandaise, still amazing. Which is pretty much what I made here. Nutty hollandaise, guys. And I am so not against that. So now you can see the bubbles have calmed down. Everything is just in the bottom of the measuring cup. And we are good to go. Looks like beer. Yeah, it kind of did, hey? Okay, 5 minutes. Oh, I already fed her.
Oh.
Like just now.
Okay.
5 minutes on our biscuits. Am I grinding my own too? I am. Oh, totally Spork's hands. Like, this sausage is not going to be like mushy and fall apart. Like, you're actually going to have some bite to it. And it's going to taste proper. Oh, Matt, what is the tattoo on my neck? It is called an ankh, or like an Egyptian cross. Death. Get in on that zucchini bread recipe. Okay, while we're waiting, let's set up our grinder. But the curry is simmering. Yum. You have a cookbook filled with New Orleans food. Oh, I love brown butter. Like, it smells so good in here right now. All of these things are cold. Can't even hold them very long. So first thing to go on is this guy. Oh. Like that. And then this just gets dropped down. Like that. Tighten our bolts up at the bottom so nothing gets moved around. Growing up, you harvested bushels of zucchini. I've heard that so many times from so many people. Browned butter Dutch babies. I've never made that before, Elvin. That could be another stream. So next thing going in is our blade. And then these little pieces that are sticking out, that's actually sharp. So that has to go up. That's going to help push the meat through our dye. So that gets dropped there. And we just twist that guy on. Done. Yes, sporks hands. Brown butter is life. So next up, you just have to turn this over like that. And that's it. That's it, that's it. You get to watch all the fun happen. Here is our pork. Actually does look a little bit different from earlier. Maybe the salt kind of like cured it a little bit, but it looks more vibrant in color. And then this is the feeder tray. So that's just gonna go on like that. And this is the plunger to push the meat through. And I wish you guys could maybe see it the other way. Yeah, that's a little bit better. Just kind of awkward for me to turn it on, but I'm okay. I'll be okay with that. Holy smokes, but 400 grams of onion. Oh, you made dim sum, Sporks Hands? Delicious. Hey guys, the biscuits. We got like 4 good ones and then the other 4 that we smushed back together. Not the tallest, but they still look tasty. So we got some pretty good height on those guys. Maybe I won't push it down as much next time, but I'm happy with that. Obviously, when they're cut in half, it'll be great. Is the meat grinder hard to clean? Not really. Country drop biscuits. Cute biscuits, yeah. They are all themselves. Everyone is different. Country drop biscuits. I need to check this out. What is the paper I'm using? Just parchment. I know they sound super easy. Googling. Oh, those look delicious. We'll have to try those ones too. Okay, so biscuits. Just gonna go onto the stove top to cool off. And we don't need the oven anymore. That's it. Did you try a piece? Oh, that's just the scraps that I baked up. Okay, let's get into our meat. I'm just gonna grab a pair of gloves. I know you guys love them. I mean, it's pretty nice for the grinder just because everything does come apart. It's not super hard to clean. And I think it helps a lot with cleaning if you do keep everything really cold, because then it won't start to stick at all. So let's get into our sausage meat. going. So good and fatty. Okay, we're over halfway there. Chilling. I think your grinder is pretty good when you don't even need the plunger. Death, that's exactly what I just did. Just stick a finger in it. Yes, do it. This looks amazing though. I'm just gonna turn it up to get the last bit out. Sometimes pieces like to get stuck down there. For grinding apples. What? You make cider too? Yum. Grind whole chickens? I don't know about that. That's it.
I don't ever want an English muffin again.
Did you guys hear Betty? She's down with the biscuit. Obviously, always unplug this first before you start taking it apart. And I always just take this full thing off. And then take it apart afterwards. So let's bring this over. Kind of prop it. It's getting a wee bit dark in here, but I think we're still pretty good for lighting. Oh man, I love cider. I really want to start making my own as well. Taste test approved. I know. So now we have to just make up a little patty to try. So it does get a little bit icky in there. Just set that down. But you can still scrape that out. And obviously it depends on how fatty the meat is that you're using. And then just push everything else out like that. And then you can kind of see how clean it is in there. There's like one part where the meat is a little bit stuck. But that's all that came out. So not a ton of waste here either, guys.
I'm gonna rinse it out now.
Okay. And yeah, just try and rinse it or soak it right away after you use it. that's about it. But still way better because you know what's in your ground meat. I honestly don't really trust grocery stores with grinding meat anymore. And then there is just sometimes a couple of pieces that get stuck in the rotator, but that's it. That's amazing, Sports Hens. So let's just take a little bit of this meat, form it into a small patty so that we can taste it, and then we'll do the rest of the patties after. There's definitely a good amount of fat in there though, which is what you want. You don't want dry sausage. That's no fun. Yeah, exactly that. Sports. It was one piece of meat, not just like random pieces. But I saw all your new succulents today. Are you addicted to plants now? I love it. Oh, Matt. You would say that. Okay, let me just try and take this glove off because I'm going to use it after. Lemon, I just saw you were here. Hi. Hi, hi. You've done potatoes in sacks of dirt? Yeah, that could work. Okay, let's just leave that there. Okay, just gonna leave that glove off for now until we cook up this patty. Hopefully the salt is all good, but if we have to mix in a little extra, that's okay. We'll just be very gentle with it so that it doesn't get gluey and tough. Yeah, tattoo glove, just post it up on the meat. No big deal, guys. That's amazing, Sporks. It's a great way to do it. We typically do it in pots because that's pretty easy as well. And I think while that's just coming up to cook, I'm just gonna go have a bathroom break real quick. And then the sausage should probably be cooked by then. Are we spicing it up? Well, we put cayenne and chili flakes into it already. I'm back, guys. I believe it's forks hands. We're just starting to sizzle now. The gloves are all that's left. I love all your guys' little emotes. Still snacking on biscuits. They're too good. Here, let's give this a flip. Oh. And I suppose I will say that the grinder is coming back out tomorrow for our fresh ground burgers. Burgers on a Friday. Nothing better than that sometimes. Yeah, oh my. I'm so pumped. Never done fresh ground burgers yet. Sausage smells pretty fab though. Onions in the burgers? No, guys. There's nothing going into the burgers except they're getting seasoned with salt and pepper on the outside. Simple. I'm very big on just being able to like taste the beef in the burger, letting it speak for itself. So yeah, pretty much like Optrix said, just coat it in kosher salt and fry it up. Millie, there is still blue cheese, so I was kind of planning to put that on one of mine. And we do have Gruyere as well. This little guy is done. Thank you, Death. Thank you for the biddies, man. Okay, well that's cooling. Let's put the rest of this away. And yeah, other than that, for burger fixins, I'm doing the brioche buns from scratch tomorrow. Obviously, we'll have cheese. Oh, and I have pancetta. So I got some thin sliced pancetta, and we'll make some nice crisps up instead of bacon, because we already used bacon twice this week. We're getting carried away with our bacon. Definitely a heavy pork week, guys. Let's blow this cup up. Thank you for the biddies. My man. I know, brioche from scratch. It's just so much fun. Okay, so obviously really nice and juicy. If you guys can see that. Let's go for the tear apart. Oh. Oh, God. The texture is amazing. I'm trying to decide on the salt level if it needs a touch more or not. But I think I'd rather keep it like this, and then we can add salt when we fry it up afterwards. Just so you don't fool around with the meat too much. I think that's a better idea. Would you like to try the sausage?
It's cooked already?
Yeah, you have to test it. Death. Thank you. You're crushing the other two in the leaderboard. It's good though. So it definitely tastes like a proper breakfast sausage. The spice is not too much. You get a good mix of all the herbs. Super flavorful. Good job, Alton. What's up, Daniel? We are doing well. Just made up some sausage. So now I'm just gonna get, actually I can probably use the same sheet pan from the biscuits if I just put those onto a plate. But at the same time, I'm gonna need another sheet pan to toast up the biscuits or broil them later on. So let's not fool around with that. Is the nutmeg a normal seasoning? I would suppose so, Millie. Because honestly, it's not overpowering in here. Everything was very, very balanced. And I actually didn't know that nutmeg went into breakfast sausage. I knew it was like some kind of spice like that, but I wasn't going to guess nutmeg.
Is there fennel in there?
And there is no fennel in here. So we got thyme, rosemary, sage,
Oh, it's sage.
nutmeg, cayenne, chili flakes. That's it. And yes, Sporks Hands, Alton Brown's recipe. One of my favorite Food Network chefs. So let's just line this pan with parchment as well, and we'll get to making the patties. We'll probably use 10 or 12 today, and the rest will just be packed up for the freezer. Yeah, where are the fennel seeds? I mean, I've made fennel sausage before. I thought about it, I was like, should I put fennel seeds? But typically when I do a recipe for the first time, I'm not gonna mess with it until afterwards. So maybe next time we'll do fennel seeds into it. And yes, it is pretty versatile, but it could be overpowering at times. Time to play with the meat. And we're not gonna weigh this out. Let's just eyeball it. So much syrup, dark. Yeah, all of the fennel syrup. So I'm gonna guess these will be about 2.5 to 3 ounces in weight. And this mixture is a little bit sticky as well. Let me make up the first one and I'll kind of get a rough idea of how big to make the rest. And keep in mind, when you cook this up, it is gonna shrink a little bit. So you don't want it to disappear under the poached egg. So something like that size, I think, is gonna be great. A simple Indian recipe that calls for fennel seeds and black mustard seeds. Nice. Oh, cauliflower. Yum. The nutmeg is an Italian thing from like Genoa salami. Oh, Matt, this does not look like a sausage. I know, we're doing breakfast sausage patties. So like the way better version of what McDonald's gives you. Let's just put it that way. I don't have any casings here. I still have to go pick those up, but don't worry, guys. We'll eventually make a proper sausage, linked and everything. You don't go to McDonald's. I don't know, man. I don't know if I can believe you on that one. The patty be thick. The Should be pretty thick. Genoa and Venice controlled the spice trade back when they found the Banda Islands. Cool. We are learning stuff today. I like it, oh Matt. Yeah, doner, way better. But I don't know though, if Jim's still in here, you're gonna have like a fight on your hands. Be careful. He gets McDonald's delivered. Good question, Millie. Okay, so we have enough sausage for 3 bennies. This pan's getting full. I'm gonna need another sheet of parchment. So I'll have to grab that. But I am loving the way that these are looking so far. Might be able to fit 3 down there. I have to answer this too. That's a hard one. I'll think a bit on it. Currywurst at 3 a.m. in Germany for your junk food. Oh man. That sounds delicious. Mit Pommes Rotweiss. You have to explain that, Optrix. Meatloaf, Elvin. Mayo and fries. Rook, I just saw that you're in here, man. What's up? I know, I was gonna say, we have so many Germans in here right now. I'm loving it. Big Davy, welcome in. Oh, spork's hands, that sounds good. Okay, time for parchment. We are at 4:30. We're doing pretty good on time still. There's not too much else to be done. A lot of the cooking is going to be done at the end of the stream, just because you don't want to pre-poach your eggs or pre-make your hollandaise or even pre-cook the sausage. Chocolate decadence. Oh man, Optrix. You guys eat some good stuff. Yes, Sporks hens. I mean, my boyfriend is German too, so we are surrounded. Aw, Elvin. That's sad to hear. Yeah, food restrictions are never too fun to deal with as a cook. Caramelized walnuts made into an ice cream. You used to eat nothing but butter and bread for the longest time? Holy. I mean, I love butter and bread, but it would not be able to sustain me. But was it good bread? Just dried up. Just douse it in butter, no problem. Holy smokes, Elvin. Yeah, that's an interesting restriction guide. I don't know, I'm still trying to think of my favorite thing that Betty made. I guess it's a good thing that I can't decide, because that means most of it was all good. Like, she had some classics. Like, have you guys ever had taco soup? But I guess I should say, like, cabbage rolls is, like, one of the most special things that she makes. Because it only happens on holidays.
That's why it's special.
Yeah. With strips of tortillas, we would just use like tortilla chips to kind of eat with it. So if you wanted to, you could like scoop up the soup with the chips and eat it like that. Or you could crush it in and put sour cream and cheese on top. So like kind of like a chili. Yes, Rook. So you know what we're talking about. Taco soup for the win. It's got corn in it. Super tasty. They were paranoid from pork. That is the saddest. Sporks, you could last a week or two on focaccia, fontina, and Chianti. Yeah, that's a pretty good diet. Is my mom Hungarian? Nope, she is Ukrainian and Polish. That's where the cabbage rolls come from. Okay, we're almost done our meat here, guys. Surprisingly, we'll still need one more piece of parchment. We got some sausage patties, which are going to be awesome for breakfast sandwiches as well. Have I ever had bigos? I don't think so. Maybe? It's a Polish recipe with cabbage, potatoes, and sausage. No. I've never had that. It sounds delicious though. I love sauerkraut.
I have had that.
You've had bigos? Betty's had bigos. Maybe she'll make it for me one time.
Sure. Get the cabbage out of the freezer and cut it up.
Or maybe we'll make it on stream. We'll make the sausage. Sporks. Wine, flour, butter, and cheese. And he is good to go for the winter. Yeah, I honestly don't think I could live without cheese in my life. Wakandian! You made it! Your bits are danker than what we're smoking on. You got some dank bitties. Did I miss you giving bits? Hopefully not. I'll have to go back and look once these gloves are off. We have about 2 more patties left. Oh, Millie? Yes, they were. Our family gatherings were huge about the food. It's all about the food. I'm pretty sure that's why I enjoyed them so much. It's like I'm just here to eat all this delicious food that I don't get to eat all the time. Is that the Ebola bowl? This is not the Ebola bowl. But it will make an appearance quite soon. So stay tuned, guys. Green box. You guys are up and watching. Yeah, this is breakfast sausage patties for our eggs benedict tonight. We made some fresh ground breakfast sausages. Alvin. Here's a bit, there's a bit everywhere. A bit. Thank you. Okay, this one's a little bit small. That'll be the snack sausage for the guys when they get in, I think. Rook. Thank you for the biddies, guys. Okay, that's it. We did it. So we got 3 layers of on here. 2, 4, 6, 10 per layer. We got 27. That's pretty good. Pretty good. So let's put those into the fridge and then I'll pack them up later after stream. So we've marinated and prepped the pork, we made our biscuits, ground the sausage, formed patties, butter is melted, so now it's time to make our salad. 27. Am I cooking for the army? No, just stocking up on stuff. I mean, yes. I always feed the army here. Yeah. Okie dokes. Let's get into it. Exactly, Elvin. You need to somehow keep me out of the kitchen, but I don't know if that's possible. So, see how our butter is calmed down now? All of the solids are at the bottom. It's actually not as dark as I thought it was going to end up being, so I'm happy with that. Just going to grab the mixed greens from outside. And then it's time for the Ebola bowl. Yeah, here's our 2 bags of greens from the farm. Got a good mix of everything. There's arugula. Got some nice green leaf lettuce. Not 100% sure what this little purple stuff is. Millie! Thank you so much. Seriously, that's amazing. I appreciate everything from you guys. It's honestly so much fun. Just like cooking on my own, but having you guys to talk to. Keep it up, Kate. Genuinely wish you well in your endeavors. What up, chat? Thank you, Millie. Feeling the love. Yeah, exactly, Sporks Hands. Try and get through our meat grinders. Or the Ebola bowls. Good luck. That's all I'll say. I know, these greens are awesome. Like, this is a week old already. And nothing in here is going bad. Let's go through them real quick together. Still not loving the angle on this guy. There we go. Gonna go upstairs and get on a new PC. Yes, Rook. See you soon. Elvin, how is your prep going so far? So I did have this bag of kind of leftover greens that I didn't want to go bad. So there is some... The chopped up stuff is collards. And then these are beet greens. There's actually some mustard greens in here. So those are all from the farm as well. A little bit of spinach. You're all prepped and ready to go. Nice. See, I told you guys it wouldn't take long if you didn't make all that stuff from scratch. Breakfast is always a good option if you guys are short on time for dinner. You wonder if it's purple variations of Rocket. I think it is. I really think it's similar to it. Let's give it a try. Mmm.
Yeah.
It's not strong at all, though. Like, it's almost nutty tasting. Okay. delicious. Whatever this is, I actually don't know. I feel like it might be a weed.
You have some weeds in there too.
Guys, don't blame me. I didn't pick these. I was just given them. But everything is picked by hand, so obviously sometimes there is going to be mistakes. Still have to pay attention to your food. But these do look really cool. Unless it is some kind of green, because there is so many of them in here. But I feel like they just got missed when they washed them. I don't want to poison us. You didn't know you can eat collards raw? Yeah. I mean, sometimes they are pretty tough, but these ones are really young, so I just chop them up nice and fine. The guys at West Coast Seeds. Hey, those are the seeds that I just used to plant yesterday. I love how you know all this stuff, Sporks Hands. The heck? I know, I forget where you're from again. Whistler? I think Whistler. Okay, so far so good. Let's do the rest of this. Probably won't need the second bag. Yeah, Ebola Bowl may actually contain a deadly mix now. We'll do a little bit more, because this stuff is super fluffy. It did look like a nasturtium. Yeah, good point. Like a baby nasturtium? Because there are still a couple in here. Just keep stumbling upon them. Okie dokes. That's a bowl of lettuce. Beautiful. So fresh, fresh. Oh man, Chief. Collards in a pot with ham hock? Yum. I believe it, Sporks. Okay, so you're in Whistler for a decade. Nice. Okay, cucur. Let's get it in half to start. I'm actually surprised to see the little nubs on this, even though it's long English. Yes, Alvin. Warm bacon vinaigrette. That's pretty much it. I mean, you don't have to serve it warm, but obviously you do need to heat up the bacon fat to kind of emulsify it into the dressing. And it would not be bad served warm, that's for sure. Okay, so cucumber is quartered just like that. I like the look of it when it's cut like that in a salad. It makes it easy to eat as well. But yeah, we did this. The bacon vinaigrette went on a salad at brunch at one of the restaurants with steak and eggs. Super good. And I was like, I haven't had this in a while. And we have a lot of bacon fat in the fridge. So let's use it up. Chief, you stopped eating pork for 10 years? The heck? I mean, good for you, though. Nice little pieces like that. Doggo says, what's up? We're snacking. You could never quit pork. I know, Sam and I have talked about that too. Because our old chef, his girlfriend was allergic to pork. And we're like, dude, how do you do it, honestly? I don't think we could. Oh my god, pork rinds. Yum. Your brush with greatness. Interviewing the guy that invented the cucumber shrink wrapping machine. What? Yeah, honestly, is he a hero or like a villain? Because sometimes those are so hard to get off the cucumber. They thought it was chocolate. Oh my god. I can just imagine. Okay, tomatoes are just getting halved. Keeping it simple. We can actually, we'll probably end the stream fairly early today, depending on what time my peeps get home, but after this, pretty much everything is ready. We do have to fill our pot still for the poached eggs. We need a bowl out for the hollandaise. We need to separate our whites from the yolks. So there's still a little bit of prep to do. Uptime. Millie, I've been going for 2 hours, 20 minutes. Yeah, that makes sense, Sporks. Might have helped them from going bad, but then at the same time, then people don't have to plant it as much. Separating the whites. Only you, Chief. Okay, so the couple of tomatoes I had yesterday were not that sweet, and today they are tasting amazing. So pretty stoked about that. On to our most adorable radishes that we got from the farm today. Every time I go to leave, she's just like, just go to the farm stand and take whatever you want. So I took radishes, got a little bunch of rhubarb first of the season, and then 3 asparagus root plants to try and grow asparagus this year. And I still have a bag of kale in the fridge from last week. And I think that's it. And then I think tomorrow I'll use the kale to make some kale chips to go with our burgers. But don't worry, there's still going to be fries as well. Just need to use up that kale. And I haven't had kale chips in a while. I like their crunch. Like, look at this little guy. It's just perfection. Yeah, Robin was like, I think there's radishes on the farm stand. I was like, what? Totally going to grab some. And I took the last bunch of rhubarb, and I think there was only 3 of these radishes. Or like little packs of radish. So I'm just going to quickly wash those up. And then I think we're just going to quarter them. Leave them in nice big chunks instead of slicing. Just because I'm sure the flavor is going to be so mild and amazing. Sporks, have I discovered silicone egg poachers? I've seen them. Seriously, you can't poach eggs? Even with the vinegar in it? I feel bad for you. Maybe you're just like cursed. Okay, so now we do have to just take off the little nubby ends. Oh, Doggo is so waiting for a radish snack. Where is this one running to? Asparagus is your favorite vegetable? Yeah, it's one of mine as well. I've never grown it though, so really excited to do that. Rook, you're back. Butt's back. Rook is back. But how was Dindin's? Exactly, Sporks. You have to look forward to it. Okay, if you say it's easy to grow, then I won't be as scared anymore. Elvin, you wish you knew people like the folks in chat. Everyone you know orders out for most of their meals. I know! It's such a city life thing. It's like all people do in Vancouver is eat out. No one cooks for themselves. Okay, the first taste. Mmm. So crunchy. They look like a pig's ear, Sporks. Yeah, at least you just accept that you're probably cursed. Poaching wise. They have excellent asparagus starts as well. What? The purple ones? I mean, I'm pretty sure that's where the starts came from originally, so I just inherited some, let's say. And then the other good thing that Robin told me today, so when we get our garden boxes built at the new house, she said I can take as many seedlings as I want from the farm to fill the boxes. I was like, that's amazing. The butt curry looks good. Okay, but I need to look at this. Everyone's going nuts over it. Oh man, that looks delicious. I love the way that you took the photo with that. Good color contrast. Betty needs to try a radish. Optrix, your wine is disappointing. What? It's almost like they watered it down. No. That's one thing I've never done yet, is just do radishes with butter and salt.
So good. Sauteed?
No, just fresh.
Have
just
you
like
ever
dip it
cooked
in.
them though?
Yeah.
They're amazing cooked.
I know, like all the fine dining restaurants, they just like coat their radishes in butter and serve it like that. Still have never tried it, so that will have to be done this summer. She almost got it. Once you start the asparagus, it's going to take over the whole space and you don't want to move it ever. Mm-hmm. Can you do it in a pot then? This salad is looking amazing, guys.
Were the radishes in the greenhouse or the outside?
I don't actually know where the radishes came from.
Okay.
I feel like I miss so much on the farm when I'm not there. So I always try and catch up, but there's always going to be stuff that I don't know. Okay, salad's pretty much there. On to our dressing. Bacon fats. Rook, thank you for the 100 biddies, dude. I know, it's super pretty. I love all the contrast of the colors. Oh, and I need one garlic clove, I think. So we have our rosemary and thyme. That's gonna get chopped up. Liminal with the follow. Welcome in. Asparagus won't really work in pots. It's a really heavy feeder. There's an odd mound trick to get it started. Yeah, we're doing raised beds. Okay, so we'll just kind of make its own little spot on one of the ends then. Sounds good. And do we want to do this? Nah, I'm not gonna do it in the new tray. Let's just whisk it up by hand. See how she goes. Olive oil and balsamic is just on the side here by me. And then we will need the brown sugar as well. And then salt and pepper. As always, our wee little whisk. Thanks for the help, Sporks. Appreciate it always. So if you do it in a pot, it shortens the lifespan. That makes sense. We're learning stuff, guys. Alvin, your backyard's a 23-story drop. Yeah, you're up pretty high. Does your building not have any, like, shared garden plots? Because pretty much everywhere in Vancouver had that. Are you vegan? Hello. Is this faux eggs? No, those are biscuits. And I don't really know what faux eggs are. If they developed a robotic weeder. The weeding should be like your reflection time. It's almost like doing dishes. So I chopped our thyme up pretty fine. Same is gonna happen with our rosemary. No stems in there. Asparagus plants die after about a decade. That's so cool. Can't believe they last that long. Are they made with love and not death? Of course. Everything in this kitchen is made with love. A key tastes pretty close to scrambled eggs. Ah. That's a good one. Oh, for sure, Optrix, yeah. If your back can handle the weeding. That's hilarious, Sporks. Okay, let's smash our garlic up and mince it in as well. Death, thanks for the biddies, man. Guys, the vegans found us. They found us once again. Watch out, world. Too bad they weren't in here like half an hour earlier when we were making the sausage. You're funky Asian hoe. I was like, is this a troll? No, that's just Sporks. Guys, the biscuit bits were good. They're pretty much gone. I don't know what happened, but they just slowly disappeared. We'll blame the dog. Doggo, why do? Okay, you know what? Before we put anything else in here, why don't we put the bacon fat in, and then we can just quickly put it in with Chef Mike and get a little melty action on there. Yeah. If you don't have a jar like this at home, then you're doing something wrong. Guys, Thirsty Thursday. It's lit. And I said about 1/4 cup of this. And then we'll put in an equal amount of olive oil. And then obviously we'll do 1/2 cup of the balsamic vinegar, because I like to do my dressings like equal parts oil and vinegar. I like them a little bit more tangy. So that looks good. Oh, Matt, thirsty. Sigh. They try so hard, guys. It's the effort that counts, I suppose. People of the future. I don't know if there will be people in the future. Wide mouth mason jars. Nice. I know, I love jars too. Oh yeah, it's 420 tomorrow. Well, I wasn't planning on doing anything crazy. I've never even gone to like one of the parades, I guess, in Vancouver while I lived there. Never even went. I mean, typically I was always at work anyways. Brooke, thanks for the biddies again. I know you're there, oh Matt, I know. I was like, I'm not even gonna ask if he's here. He's probably just gonna appear. And here we are. Ooh, that's smelling delicious. The garlic is kind of roasting. Thanks, Chef Mike. Yeah, tomorrow, 420. I mean, guys, I'm not allowed to do any baking on stream. I don't want to get banned or anything like that right now because it's not fully legal recreationally in Canada yet, so still have to wait a bit for that. This stuff is taking a bit to melt. Let's do 40 seconds. But yeah, other than that, I mean, maybe I'll make something up. We still have quite a bit of the leftover pineapple upside down cake. Oh my god, Super Troopers 2? I like it, Ethan. That's what I do like about it, Sporks, is that might get people more into gardening. At least I hope so. There we go. We got some sizzle action. It kind of brought out all of the aromatics from the herbs. Kind of cooked them a bit. What's happening at 4:20, Kylie? Well, tomorrow. It's for all the pot smokers. But really, it doesn't mean anything. Sure. Yes, please. Our garlic kind of roasted together. So I'm just kind of breaking it up. This is where we're at so far. So let's add in our olive oil. If you can grow weed, you can grow decent tomatoes, pretty much.
Do you remember the tomatoes in St. Albert?
Yeah.
I think I could grow some decent wheat.
Yeah, Betty for sure could. I mean, her tomatoes were about 7 feet tall. She needed a ladder to pick them. Okay, I think that's a good start. Now just some sugar to balance everything out. You hope everyone you're stranded with is vegan. We are terrible and I love it. Yes, exactly, Ethan. Apparently it was Hitler's birthday. Like, 420 is just this hilarious little thing that pot smokers have come up with. And it's stuck. Oh, she's got that green thumb, guys. Okay, let's pepper this up. Yes, Optrix. Hops are actually pretty easy to grow. We've done those before as well. Best tomato ever. Brand wines. Brandy wines. Betty, look them up.
I already know.
Oh, she already knows.
And the seedlings you planted today at the farm, I grew them last year.
Yeah, Sun Golds.
Yes.
Sun Gold's really good. Guys, it's Thirsty Thursday. Pour yourself a glass of something if you so desire. Cheers. Let's whisk this up. It doesn't emulsify like very, very well. But I'm just gonna give it a good mix to start so I can see how the flavor is. It mixes up a bit better in the blender though. I just didn't want to use mine today. Definitely dark though. It's Vegan Thursday. Cheers, guys. Oh, yeah, the reddish black color. Yum. Yeah, just don't pour a glass of Chianti Rufina. You may be disappointed. You heard it here from Optrix. Okay, taste test. So you can see it is a little bit emulsified. It doesn't want to though, that's the thing. Seriously perfect, guys. So you get that little bit of bacon flavor at the beginning, not overpowering. And then you get the sweetness and the herbs. And then at the end, just that little bite from the vinegar, which is awesome. So delicious. This salad's gonna be great. Just doing a mini cleanup here. We don't need either of these things anymore. You may still need the salt and pepper. Bye, Green Box. Thanks for watching, guys. Have a great night. You grow San Marzanos, Rook? That's awesome. Rush, my man. How are you? So far, it's going great over here. Pretty much all of our breakfast is together. All we have left to do is cook up some sausage, eggs, and hollandaise. But we are looking good. Tequila? You're having tequila? Yeah, San Marzano is love. Ooh. Yeah, that's an expensive cooking wine. Okay, done all of this thing. So let's get our bowl out for our hollandaise. I think I'm gonna do 2 duck egg yolks, which equals 3 chicken egg yolks. Soup and dumplings look good. Honestly, everyone said that was like the best chicken soup they've had. So by all means, guys, the recipe is on Discord. I followed it to a T. So if you want to make that, it'd be amazing left over as well. Here's all of our eggies, so you can see how varying the sizes are on them. But I mean, it's organic. You can't help that. So let's do our separation. I'm gonna do 2 of these bigger ones here. Yeah, it's the Italian soil. That's so crazy, hey? Optrix, you like trying new wines. Sometimes you make an amazing discovery and sometimes you have a dud. Yeah, you never know. Yeah, exactly. You gotta get that Marzano label on the can or else. Just contemplating whether I need another yolk, but I think that's good. You have 4 retired chickens at the farm. That's so cute. Okay, eggies can go over there. So we will use a splash of the apple cider vinegar in here. But you can use any acid. Lots of people like to do lemon juice, or you can do a white wine vinegar. Sounds good, Elvin. You get into it. I know, hey? They're like not flat at all. They're just like custard. Nice bowl of death. Thank you. Thank you, Butt. So I think that's about a tablespoon in there. Maybe a little bit more. Elvin, you're using lemon juice. Yes. Exactly, Sporks. Yeah, we get an egg every now and then. In bug prevention. Interesting. Some of that hot sauce. Rook, thank you for the biddies. Death. So many foods I get are in your fridge of pantry. Yes, dude. Do your bugs taste better than your lettuce is? You're using cayenne. Ooh. I'm going to use homemade chipotle hot sauce. About a teaspoon worth. I love this comparison right now. And all we're going to do now is just whisk this stuff up. And we will need to get this a little bit warm before we start to make our hollandaise. And we'll also have to reheat the butter as well. And that's going to help it emulsify really nice. I'm just going to give this a little whisk. Kind of wake it up. Okay. Yeah, chipotle. So good. So next up, poaching pot, pan out for the sausage. That's it. Goodbye for now, biscuits. Paulsh, you made it in, man. How was your day? Oh my god. You accidentally soaked the chipotles in tequila. Accidentally. But it wasn't good? I could see that being good. Oh, Matt. It's time for Betty. So let's fill our pot with water. Doesn't matter if it's hot or cold. Obviously, if you make it hot, it will come to a simmer faster. Oh, Matt, your body used all the energy on the sunburn. I believe it, dude. You go get some rest. Guys, we're about to get raided. Coming in. Put your onions up. It was way too bitter. I guess you never know if you don't try. Good night, oh Matt. Stay thick, my dude. Hopefully your sunburn heals up. Okay, let's do cam switch. There we go. Once again, the splash of vinegar in your poaching pot does not matter too much. Obviously, white vinegar has the least amount of flavoring, but it is the strongest. And obviously, it is the cheapest as well. So that's outside. I'm just going to grab it. They're here. Welcome in, guys. How was garlicky pasta? Sounded delicious. Okay, how much vinegar? A splash. Obviously, if you put too much, your eggs are gonna taste like vinegar. So use it sparingly. Where is the victim? I'm back. I'm here. It was so good. That's amazing. Now you're making me crave pasta with salmon. Because how is that not a good combo? There was so much garlic, she killed all the vampires. I felt like that the other day as well. What did we do a whole head of garlic in? I don't even remember, but you can never have too much garlic. Let's be honest, guys. So let's turn this pot on so we can get it hot. We'll start it up high, just so it heats up pretty quick. Elvin, there's debate whether the amount of vinegar really can denature the egg proteins fast enough. Yeah, everyone has their kind of own take on that, I suppose, but it always works for me. What's up, Vune? Hopefully your stream was well today. Sounds good, Palsh. You go crush it, my dude. Uncle Stinky. Okay, that pan's for our sausage. Eggs I will put over by the poaching pot. And then we'll just use this little front burner here to kind of warm up our yolks for the hollandaise. And we are well on our way. Rook, thank you for being here, and thanks for the biddies as well. You have a great night. Sporks, you are the cheese-laden dark side. You use vinegar too out of habit, but your early attempts at poaching were disasters. I don't think I've ever... Maybe one time it's been a disaster, but... I mean, I've cooked a lot of brunches in the last 7 years, and I think the most eggs I've put into a poaching pot at once were around 30. Which is like one flat of eggs. Just crushing the eggs benedicts. No problem, Vune. It was fun? Good, good. You're getting your gears going with it now. Yes, Vune. European cheese. I don't know if it can be beat. I mean, Quebec has some pretty good cheese, but it's hard to compare. I guess I haven't eaten enough cheese from the East Coast, but I have had a lot of European cheese. I was like on the daily, my diet there. Bread and cheese and wine. So Sporks, we must have something in common here. Okay, while we're waiting, why don't we have our biscuits? I'm only gonna toast up 4. So let's use the best ones. Not the sewn up ones. Hey Tom, what's going on? I mean, they did get a pretty nice rise. I don't think I'd flatten them out as much next time. They're super flaky though. I think that's better than an English muffin, honestly. But I don't think you can compare just because this has butter in it. It's not even a fair comparison. How am I tonight? I am doing well, sir. Pumped to have some breakfast for dinner. It's already Thursday. That means tomorrow's the last day of the work week. It's not thick. I mean, I would still love to make English muffins with you guys on stream, though. Because those ones turned out really well last time I did them. They were like 2 inches high almost. They got that rise for sure. These look a little underdone? I don't think so. They're completely cooked in the middle. I can show you more up close. They're flaky and delicious. But I don't know, because I had to end up adding that little bit of water as well, because it wasn't really coming together, so we'll try out the recipe again. Make our own little tweaks to it, as always. So all we need to do for those to toast them up is just put them under the broiler. Whew. Good thing, Elvin. Crazy stuff happening over there. Sporks, you're a crumpet kind of guy. Okay, I'm gonna do a mini cleanup while we're chilling. I'm just gonna wait for our water to come up. So I suppose I could cover it to make it go a little faster. And then everything will fall into place. It would be really cool to have a lunch meal prep for the week. Yes. I know, I'm totally gonna do different stuff when I'm in my own space. Because then I can make a mess whenever I want and I'll just clean it up. That way I don't have to feel bad about making a mess in Betty's house. She's clapping right now. So she might be a little bit excited to have her kitchen back. You were gonna stream breakfast today? What? I didn't know that you streamed. Sporks. You little sneaker. Okay, I'm gonna give you a follow and check you out tomorrow. We need some tongs for our salad. Spoon for our dressing. Forks and plates. Thanks, Alvin. Yeah, high five. Done. You're a refugee from YouTube. Well, welcome in. Yeah, we're gonna be downstairs tearing up the place. Betty and Frank and Doggo are gonna be upstairs.
But you're not in the basement.
Yeah, it's not an actual basement because it's a walkout. So it's still very nice and light.
I'm pretty sure Doggo's gonna stream with you every day.
Yeah, Doggo will still be in stream, guys. She knows the deal. Maybe do a brunch? Yeah, do it. Start with brunch streams. Why not? I suppose while we're waiting, why don't we start making our hollandaise? Because it's going to hold up for at least an hour. So let's just heat up our butter from before. It doesn't have to be smoking hot, just warm. And then this little burner, we'll turn it to super low. And then we'll start kind of whisking the yolks around to get them warm. Yes, just do a ton of mimosas and try and drink them all. Okay, butter is warmed and nicely browned. We're making nutty hollandaise today.
Okay, so there's still at least half an hour.
That's okay. You usually get it to about 180 to 190. I've never actually temped my butter when I make hollandaise. And yes, you can put the bowl directly on the stove. I don't know, this is just like a chef thing. That's how I learned how to do it. But you don't want to get it too hot, because then you're going to get scrambled eggs. So you can kind of just put it on, heat it up a bit, take it off, whisk it around. Vune, good night. Have a good one. Thanks for checking in. Burgers tomorrow? Yes. It's happening. Fresh ground. Okay, that's enough heat on there. It's getting a little bit thick. Bring it over, give it a good whisk. Burfers are life. And we're getting into it. It's happening. So see how these went more pale in color than before? They were more custardy before. So we're just gonna slowly drizzle in our butter. Obviously you need to keep whisking the whole time. But you can't add in the whole amount of butter and whisk it together. It just won't work. So you need to slowly incorporate it. And then once this gets too thick, we're gonna add a little bit of water to it. And then we'll add any extra butter if it's needed. But this smells amazingly nutty right now. I think it's gonna go great with the sausage. She be getting thick. So almost time to thin it out. That's the consistency right now. No such thing as too thick. It's true, but we still need it to be able to coat the egg properly. So just a drizzle of warm water. So you don't want to cool this off too much. Come on, warm water. It'll just be on the floor as you finish the butter. That's when you would just go and make the blender hollandaise then and say screw it. There we go. Okay, there's our water. Ooh. Huh? Pot's happy. Thank you, Betty. Might have added a touch too much water, but I think I have to just put this back on the heat as well. And also it will kind of firm up as it sits if you don't use it right away. So keep that in mind. And we did get a couple drips of our nutty milk, but I'm okay with that. I'm not gonna be super picky with this. If we need to add a touch more butter, then we will. All right, Rush. Thanks for chilling, man. Lemon, salt. I use apple cider vinegar, and the salt has not been put in yet. Always do that last. So really, really low heat, guys. And you want to keep it moving so you don't cook the eggs onto the bottom of the bowl. Just starting to heat up, so a couple more minutes. Feels like it's getting thicker. Oh yeah. So you need this to coat the back of the spoon, and then that way it's gonna coat the poached egg perfectly. So we're almost there. See how you can start to see the whisk swirls in the hollandaise. And we are good. Done. Where are we at? Interesting twist with the cider vinegar. Yeah, we've actually made champagne hollandaise before as well, or prosecco, and it makes it super nice and light. So that's an interesting twist as well. Was the cider vinegar with the butter? Nope, I put the cider vinegar in with the egg yolks and the hot sauce. Exactly, yeah, hollandaise rushes for no one. So if you guys look at this now, you can see how it's kind of like ribbony. It's perfect. So all we have to do now is season this, and then that's just gonna sit aside, room temperature. You can cover it if you want, but otherwise it's okay to sit out. It might just get a little skin on top, but you can whisk that back in. Definitely needs salt, but it's very nice and buttery. Start with a small amount of salt and add more if you need. But you can't take the salt out of it if you make it too salty. That would just be sad. Viali, the braids are back. You got it. Welcome in. Like, look at that coat. That droop. Not that drip. Like a touch more. Yeah, we're pretty addicted to mason jars, it's true. They're just so useful. Okay, this should be perfect. It's very rich. I don't know if anyone here has never had hollandaise, but it's a very rich sauce, but that's why you add the acidic element and the spice to kind of balance everything out. And then with the egg, obviously the egg is quite plain in flavor. The yolk is rich as well, but it just goes super, super well. I mean, obviously a sauce made with eggs and butter is going to be delicious with eggs of any style. I suppose I will just leave the whisk in here just in case it firms up too much. And I'll add another touch of water when it comes time to plate. When is kimchi night? The kimchi was made last week? And it's just been chilling in the fridge. Just getting better over time. Okay, another thing, excuse me, done. So how much longer for peeps? All we need now is to turn the broiler on and poach our eggs, and then we are good. And fry the sausage, I guess. Yeah, even apartment dwellers can have a farm with enough mason jars. That's true. Yeah, I'm gonna start making sprouts as well when we move because we have an awesome window that goes into the kitchen. Elvin, you're done. Yeah, the acidity also inhibits the curdling of the egg yolk. So keep that in mind too. Okay, about 10 minutes left. AKA right on time. I heard a sizzle. I was like, what's that? Guys, I'm drinking wine. My cheeks are red. Clegane with the follow. Welcome. And thank you. There's a great sprouting seed place over in Manitoba. Okay, sounds good, Sporks. I'm going to write that down in my little notes section then. Ask Sporks about sprouting seeds. Well, Millie, if you're still in here so far, you're going to be the person picking what to eat next week. And then Death as well. So Fridays I pick top donator and top cheer to request a meal for the next week. So keep that in mind, guys, if you've had a hankering for something or if you want to see something made. Will I still be feeding mom and dad every stream night? I'm pretty sure. I mean, we talked about this earlier, but I said to Betty, if she wants to cook one night, just let me know. Even if it's using the same ingredients as me, but making something different, still works. Aw, thanks, Starbell. I appreciate all the love, even the lurkers. As long as you guys learn something, that makes my purpose here. I mean, that's why I'm here. Red radish sprouts. That tastes delicious. Yeah, gotta take care of them. I'm not stopping cooking. Okay, this pot is at like almost a perfect simmer for our poached eggs. And then all we need is a slotted spoon and a plate covered with paper towel. And that will just soak up whatever water is stuck onto the egg when it comes out. That's our setup for poaching. And I always find that duck eggs poach a little bit different than chicken eggs. Like the whites get a lot more firm, but the yolks take a lot longer to cook. So it's always key to keep your heat down, just so you don't get a weird texture contrast there. But still, the yolky part of the duck egg, you can't beat that. I was just thinking about that. I was like, okay, watch me drop all of the eggs into the pot and it just doesn't work. You never know. Exactly, Optrix. Which is why sous vide eggs are still the best thing. Because then you can easily control the temperature. But I'm not a huge fan of like soft sous vide eggs. Like I'd still like them more like a medium texture for the whites. Thanks, Sporks. Keep that in mind. Let's get our sausage out. I'm not going to cook that ahead of time at all because I don't want it to dry out. But dang, it's looking good. Elvin, thanks for the biddies. Have you started eating yet? That's what I'm wondering. And if so, how is it? You're taking it slow, working at my pace. Awesome. Well, honestly, don't wait for me if you're starving, but we should be done within the next 10 minutes, I would say. And since I'm getting antsy, I'm just going to turn on the back pan to start heating it up. Feel like it's gonna be soon. Just keeping the sauce warm, yeah. Mine's getting thick for sure. A show. Alright guys, let's talk about burgers for a little bit. What is everyone's favorite burger topping? You can list a bunch of them, though. Like, some people like the California version, which has avo and bacon. I knew it, but I knew someone was going to say avo. Optrix, your blue cheese. Well, we have both of those things in-house. Jalapeno, bacon. Elvin, salt and pepper. You know. Newsroom cool. Avo, mayo, mustard, bacon, Swiss. That's a good one too. I do have all of those things. Spicy dill pickles. Yeah, I don't think a burger is complete without a pickle, but that's just me. I really love that crunch and the, I guess, acidity from that. Nice. Swiss and mushrooms. Yeah, we're gonna do Gruyere. And I'll pull out some blue cheese tomorrow. I don't know if I'll be feeling that because I do love Gruyere on my burgers as well. Roasted tomatoes. Pepper jack, nice. That's Sammy's pick, typically. Are you guys, like, huge into American cheese, or would you rather choose, like, a better cheese than that? Because we can't even get that here. It's very hard to find. Nope. No thank you to the American. That's so funny. So a lot of places in Vancouver, the burger places that are starting to pop up, they think they're like super amazing because they have American cheese. And it's like, there's a lot better cheeses that you can choose. I mean, it melts really nice, but other than that, it doesn't have too much flavor. I don't even want it, Optrix. I think it's overrated. I'd rather make like a goopy kind of beer cheese or something like that. Yeah, sporks. I am famous for Schneeken Gruyere slices. Yeah, exactly, Elvin. American cheese is only good for the melting, but that's just because it has chemicals in it. It's not even fair. Okay, we're so close. I think I'm just gonna take the last bathroom break and then we'll come back and finish. Okay. Fontina is nice as well. It's called American Slice. Oh my god, but dog cheese. We used to call the Kraft Singles plastic cheese. Non-med. If I could play some Bjork. I don't typically play like well-known music just because I end up getting a copyright on my video. If you go to watch it afterwards, they're gonna block out all of the audio during that portion of the song. So if I say something that you guys need to know, then that's gonna get blocked out for future viewers, which kind of sucks. But once I set up the Nightbot, that's not gonna happen anymore. So hopefully you can just like hold on for like a week more, let's say. And then we can do like song requests and all of that stuff. It's just gonna get better, guys. Blazed with the follow. Welcome in. She's Icelandic. You wouldn't worry about copyright? Well, if I can find her on Apple Music, then I will play it. I think there's still going to be copyright, but I don't know how I feel about it. Elvin, you don't go with brioche buns. Yeah, they are pretty rich, and they kind of take away from that beefy flavor. Yeah, ricotta and jam delivery system. Yeah, exactly, Elvin. I think I'm still gonna get copyright on it. American cheese slices are usually all oil. Ugh. Yeah, there's maybe like not even any dairy in it. Terrifying. I know it sucks. It's best to skip the music. I mean, I do have no copyright playlist, but we haven't done music in the stream for at least a couple months now. I think my first month I did the playlist with music in the back just because it was a lot more quiet, but I talk way too much now to even worry about putting music on. Ain't nobody got time for that. But yes, non-med. Soon you will request and I will play pretty much whatever you guys want. I'll keep the pretty much there because sometimes it can get out of hand. Or yeah, I'll just sing to you guys. Also, tomorrow's story time in chat. So we better come up with a good story. I don't think I can hit the I note. And I will always love food. Yep, that's pretty accurate. You guys have good stories, all right. Kate, I heard the garage door. You know what time it is. It's got a sausage pan on, broiler on. T-minus 6 minutes, I think. Stanky. Burger toppings change depending on the method. Nice. That's a good way to do it. Grilled burgers need that tomato, lettuce, cheddar, mayo, catsup, mustard, barbecue sauce. Fried burgers, catsup, mayo, mustard, relish, and American cheese. Nice. I like the mix-up. Yeah, cheddar on grilled burgers. I don't know if you can beat that. Yeah, exactly, Death. I'm looking forward to getting music back in. At least in these like little quiet times when we're just chatting anyways. Totally throw some on for us. Sounds good, Elvin. I'm so pumped. And proud of you, honestly. Thanks for cooking with me. You're honestly the first person that has made the same meal as me at the same time. So thank you for that, because that's what I wanted out of this stream. And I know with all the different time zones, it's a little bit difficult, but at least I got you. Oh my god, fondue on a burger. Dirt nasty. Okay, let's do our eggs first, because I think they're going to take longer to cook than our sausage patties. So I'm going to just be across over here. 1 egg or 2? 1. Okay. You need 2, 4, 6 eggs. Let's try and kind of get them all the same size. And my trick always for poaching eggs, I never actually swirl the pot. I just drop the egg down the side of it so it kind of splooshes onto the bottom and curls up onto itself. That's my way of doing it. I'm gonna crank the pot up right now just to keep it warm when we put our cold eggs into it. We don't want them to stick on the bottom, which they don't look like they're doing it anyways. But you never know, Sporks is watching, so. So far, so good. Rook, you made it back. Thanks for the bits, man. Seriously, you guys are having a war again? Yeah, sploosh is... Okay, it's looking fab. Just coming back up to temp. So let's control that. Sausage patties are going in. Yeah, exactly. I mean, you can take off that little kind of tail of the egg white if you wanted to be super fancy about it, but typically I just tuck it underneath and hide it with the sauce. Be afraid. Be very afraid. Do I live with a woman? Yes. You're just playing around. Classic. Okay, 1, 2, 3. So we need 2 more in there. And we are well on our way. A beautiful woman. Exactly, but. Okie dokes. I know, Sports. I got this grinder for my birthday at the beginning of March, and I think I've used it 4 times? At least 4 times already since then. Have not bought any ground meat since then. Okay, let's chickadee check these. Just about there. Actually, I think we are there. I'm gonna push it. Because this thicker part right here feels a little underdone. Let's just turn that off. Get a flip on our sausage. Probably going to turn the pan off after that as well, just so I can finish up while our biscuits toast. That way it won't get dried out. When the eggs come out, the biscuits will go in. But these are frying up really nice. I love the little bit of brown color on them. So feel it. This one is a nice soft. Obviously you want your yolks runny for this. But you can still eat a hard poached egg for a benedict if you want that. Just, I don't think it's the same without having that egg yolk everywhere. I mean, it kind of just mixes in with the hollandaise anyways. This one is pretty perfect. And then also, as they sit here on the plate, they're gonna continue cooking. So see how nice and clean the water is? Thank you, vinegar.
Said plate it up.
Plate it up. Okay, egg view coming in. They're happy. Biscuits in. Yeah, let's push it. I'm just gonna watch that super close because there is parchment on there. Oh yeah, they totally use a coloring agent. Wow, Rook. Montreal isn't bad? I believe it. They're pretty old school. If you guys are getting a butt shot, I'm sorry. It'd be a plate of egg drop soup. I'm sorry, Sporks. No, I'm not. Maybe after this, you'll be able to poach eggs. Maybe it'll be magical. Chive toast. Perfection is here. This one is a little light, but I'm okay with that. Don't want it to get too dark. What is our pork? Delicious. Okay guys, plate up time. Do this one, it's just perfect. I suppose I should take a photo because I didn't even do that earlier. I get terrible sometimes. Forgetting. Too dark. Alvin. Perfect little pork patty.
But God love you.
Yes, but tell him. Okay, so this one, you can kind of see how the white is super stringy. So I always just like tuck that under because you don't want to waste the egg. Like that. Pretty much perfection. I'm just gonna munch on that piece. Let's check our holly. If I have to, I'm just gonna add a little spoonful of the hot poaching water to loosen it up. So it is a little thick. Maybe a touch more. Still pretty thick, but I think it's gonna cover the egg perfectly. I'd rather have it like this than too thin. This is called nappe. If I want to be picky, I'll go a little bit more over here. But I always hate when you can kind of like see the egg underneath the hollandaise. You shouldn't be able to see it. That means it's too runny.
Or not enough.
Or there's not enough, yeah. Dead. We died. We went to heaven. Thanks, everyone. You need maple syrups now. Okay, let's just get a bunch of our greens on the side. Try to not get it into the holly, but sometimes it happens. And this salad's gonna cut the richness as well of the dinner. Get a good amount of everything in there. And then our dressing. You could eat hollandaise anytime. I'm a firm believer of that. I used to snack on it with hash browns if there was extra left over at brunch. %80 of people in North America can only make fewer than 4 dishes. What? That's terrifying, sport. And the bacon dressing.
I think these are extras, right?
Okay, real quick. Doing it for the gram. And then we're tasting. But I think we're happy with this so far. Like that sheen. Is it real? I don't know. Age of the gamer. Welcome in.
Gonna live at Starbucks. No, I'm out.
Thanks, Sporks. I know we gotta nappe it. Gotta be fancy. Where do these leggings come from? Costco. $12, guys. Better than Lulu. At least for my body right now. Oh, I guess we need to do a little bit of yolk porn, hey? I'll get this first bite in, though. A little bit of sausage, egg, biscuit, hollandaise. Mm-hmm. Chives with the biscuit. So good with the pork. You went whole hog on the hollandaise. What have you done, Elvin? Okay, ready, guys? The cut. This is the real sploot. Sorry about that. Once again, no, I'm not. You need that yolky goodness to mix in with all the hollandaise. It's a must. Okay, let's try one of the eggs. These actually poached up better than a couple that I've done so far at home. Huh? Yeah. Yeah, the white stayed nice and soft. Sometimes it's been quite firm. Maybe these eggs are just a little bit more fresh. Okay, good mix of everything. We're going in for the greenery. Death, thanks for the biddies. Organic eggs, yes they are. From the hut on the side of the road. Slingshot, got you. Bacon dressing with tomato and cucumber cannot be beat. And obviously the crunch of the radish is perfect with this too. That's a pretty lovely springtime meal, I would say. Elvin, I hope yours turned out as well as mine did. Okay guys, that is it. Crushed it. Breakfast for dinner. Yeah, all we need is spring. I know, I'm sorry we're a little bit ahead of you. Okay, I will be back tomorrow. Same time, same place. Last stream of the week. And then next week is going to be a little bit weird. I'm probably will stream Monday. We'll see. I'll keep you guys posted though. I'll post on Twitch as well as in Discord if anything changes. Chief, thank you, man. Thanks, everyone. It's awesome having you all in here. Hopefully you guys learned a lot of stuff today, and I would love it if you guys all made bennies for yourselves at one point. So, newbies in here, I don't know if there are any, to be honest. There might be a couple lurkers. Check out my channel page after the stream. All of my socials are on there if you are into that kind of thing, as well as Discord. So every single recipe that I make is on there. And is there anyone on for us to, raid real quick? I have no one here on my end, but if you guys have a request, by all means, let's go in there. Otherwise, we'll just call it a day since it was so awesome, and hopefully see you guys all tomorrow. And have a wonderful night. It's not a girlfriend, it's my mom, you weirdo. Okay guys, bon appetit. Good night, love you all. Peace.